Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Footy Fan Zone here live on YouTube. This live stream is finally here, and you know what they say, every good thing must come to an end. Well, this is the end because it's the final day of the 2022-23 Premier League season, and it's got some massive stakes on it. The champions are already confirmed. 1 out of the 3 relegation teams is confirmed today. Will it be Everton? Will it be Leicester? Or will it be Leeds that heads to Championship football next season? We've also got coverage of all of the other games today. So it's a massive task here on the Footy Fan Zone. And I can't think of anybody better to cover it with than main man, Elliot. Elliot, mate, how are you? Great to have you on, mate.
Mate, I'm all good. It's a bit sad that the season's coming to an end. I think we all feel a bit like that. But no, you've got some exciting games to end the season off with, and hopefully there's a lot of goals.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, as we've just said, it's all about relegation. Leicester host West Ham. That's going to be the dedicated game of the live stream, as that is the main part of the thumbnail that you guys can see as well. But that will be the main focus. Everton versus Bournemouth is also going to be a game that we will also be keeping very eyes on. As you can see there, the Leicester owner hoping that next season won't be Championship football. Johnny Evans leads the Foxes ahead. And by the way, guys, if you are wondering where is the third head of the table of this stream, he is live at the King Power Stadium today, Gary Best. So Gary will be ringing in at half time. Hopefully we'll be getting his thoughts on the first half as he watches it live. But other games we are speaking about today, as we mentioned, Everton do start today out of the relegation places. They host Bournemouth. Aston Villa and Brighton, a battle between two fantastic teams this season. Brentford host champions Manchester City. Chelsea, who could be having some big departures in the summer, Frank Lampard, Cesar Azpilicueta and Mason Mount. They host Newcastle. Crystal Palace and Nottingham Forest as well on the final day. Leeds hope to get something from struggling Spurs. Man United host Fulham. Southampton, who have been already confirmed as relegated, will host Liverpool, which will see the final game for the main man, the best teeth in football, Bobby Firmino. And as you know, Leicester versus West Ham, and then Arsenal will be hosting Wolves, Elliot's team there. So, I mean, where do we start? Let's start with the relegation. We've got to start with the relegation, haven't we? Thoughts, predictions, who do you think is going down? Who's got the pressure on them? Because I say Everton, but a lot of people are saying Leicester.
I think obviously all of them have pressure on them, but I think they've all got games that they can get points from. I think Leicester home to West Ham. If Leicester turn up, they could get a point or 3. You've got Leeds Spurs. Spurs at the minute aren't on great form. They've got 1 win and 1 draw in 7 games, Spurs. So Leeds could easily get something from that. And yeah, you got Everton Bournemouth, which is obviously going to be a tight game. So yeah, I think it will go down to the last few minutes of the season. See who goes down.
Absolutely. The only players that West Ham seem to be resting is Bowen, Ings there on the bench, Souček as well. They've got a very, very strong team out. I did think to myself that we're going to have one eye to the final. You know, one eye on this Conference League final they've got in a few weeks. But this is important. Leicester, I thought, had a really, really great game and a really solid game, actually, against Newcastle last Monday. You know, it was a really, really solid performance from them in terms of the defensive department, but it lacked in attacking prowess. Maddison starts today. Barnes plays today. They've got to get at West Ham. Leicester have got to win. And this is the issue which I find with certain fans, and I'm not calling any fans out, but certain fans are like, yeah, well, if we do this, then we've got to make sure that they do that. No, focused on the game. If Leicester win today but then go down, yes, it's going to be sad. It's going to be disappointing, but you go, they did their job. It's just other results go the wrong way. You can't turn around and go, well, yeah, if we get it, well, draws fine. It's not fine. Leicester need a win today, and then hope that
All them three need a win. Everton, Leicester, and Leeds all need to push for a win.
Absolutely, they have to. They can't just rest their morals. Yes, obviously the Newcastle game is a great point. If Leicester played attacking football against Newcastle, they probably would have lost, and that's not being that's not being offensive. That's just saying that Newcastle are that good. That is important. So. Gary's just mentioned me saying West Ham fans are up for it. Well, he is one of them, but he's sitting inside the Leicester stand today. He managed to get tickets. Very, very pleased for Gary. He worked so hard with obviously all the Leicester coaching and stuff like that, and obviously the stuff they does here. We're massively thankful for everything that Gary does. So, thank you very much to Gary, and hopefully he has a great day watching his two teams. Here we go. Leicester versus West Ham. All the other games have started apart from Crystal Palace, Nottingham Forest, and Leeds Spurs. So
I've just seen
go on.
Arsenal released their kit earlier this week, using it for the first time today.
Wow.
Using it against Wolves.
Well, I think Liverpool have done for the last two games. I don't know why they get. Yeah, I don't know why they. I understand why they do it, but it's almost sort of like, okay. I think the last game we played was the Leicester game. That was with the old kit. That was the last time we played. And just to inform you as well, obviously, dedicated Premier League channel, but we do now know, congratulations to Luton. Very, very pleased to see them come into the Premier League next season. That's great to see. But Carlisle will also be making their way to League One. They've beaten Stockport County 5-4 on penalties. So congratulations to Carlisle. We'll see them in the League One. And hopefully I can get to see them live when I go watch them play at Lincoln. So obviously we split the games up, 5 games. Obviously this one is being dedicated here on the Footy Fan Zone, Leicester West Ham. But I've also picked 4 extra games to cover. Elliot's got the daunting task of keeping an eye on all 5. So we'll be hearing a lot from Elliot as the time goes on. Hopefully goals is the priority here on the final day of the season.
That's what we want.
We'll also be obviously talking about general stuff. Including the England squad that has been announced. We'll keep that as a segment for later on in the show. It's going to be a long stream, so we've got a lot to cover. Sumari passages it in, gives it away, and here comes Antonio for West Ham into Paqueta. Some nice skill from Lucas Paqueta. Into Ben Rama now up against Castagna. And his way to the box. A good challenge from Castagna. It's the first corner of the game. What must the players be thinking here, Elliot, particularly about Everton, Leeds, and Leicester? Because it's massive pressure, of course. Got to make sure that they get a win. Do you change the style of play? Do you change your game, or is it important? So
I think obviously they all need to score. That's obvious.
I'm so sorry to cut you off, Ellie. I'm so sorry, but there has been a goal at the Ellen Road because Spurs have taken the lead against Leeds 2 minutes in, and it's Harry Kane, an assist from Heung-min Son, who has had a disappointing season due to his standard, but it's the main man again, Harry Kane, who has scored in the first 2 minutes of the game. That is massive. Wow. It doesn't change anything in terms of people moving. Leeds stay in the relegation zone with 31 points, a point behind Leicester, 3 points behind Everton. It's massive. And that goal could have confirmed, Elliot, that drop for Leeds United back into the Championship.
Yeah, that is a huge blow. 2 minutes in, and you're only 1-0 down. I mean, it's going to be a hard game anyway. But when you're 1-0 down within 2 minutes, they're just asking for more trouble. Like now, after kickoff, they have to go right for it. They're already on the back foot. They can't risk just waiting for their moment. They have to really push and try and make it early.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, as you can see down below, we will have all the scores. Keep going across, and of course there he is. Tottenham leading by 1-0. And the main question before that came to us was, how must they be feeling? Are they going to be up for the game? It doesn't sound like Leeds are up for the game because they're already 1-0 down after 5 minutes.
No, I don't think it's that they're not up for the game. I think it's the fact that the pressure might be too much for them. Because obviously a lot of pressure's on their shoulders and they've got all their fans. Considering they're at home, they've got to make sure they get something at home. Because their fans, you can't question their support.
No, God, no.
Leeds fans are quality. But there is that pressure, especially being at home, of, right, we need to stay up. We're at home. We're in front of our own fans. We need to make sure we do that. But, yeah, I think everyone will be up for it. But it is nerve-wracking times, isn't it?
It is absolutely. Leicester 0, West Ham 0, Everton 0, Bournemouth 0. The only goal coming in this big relegation fight is Spurs, who are beating Leeds by 1-0. A massive start for Spurs, who has had a very disappointing season. Doesn't look like they're going to get any Europe football. And surprisingly, we might see the club having to restructure, which is crazy due to the size of the stadium, the money that they do spend. There's got to be some big changes for Spurs in that one. West Ham here on keeping nice control of the ball. I'm sure the news has been ringing around King Power Stadium that Leeds are currently 1-0 down. But as I said, Leicester have got to get a goal, but it's now on Cresswell. Well defended, though.
There's a goal for Aston Villa.
Go on, over to you.
Villa 1-0 against Brighton, by the looks of it. 7 minutes in, Douglas Luiz. Douglas Luiz takes the lead against Brighton.
Wow, that's massive for Villa, who's had a fantastic season. Second half of the season, I would say, under Unai Emery.
They've been incredible under Unai Emery.
Absolutely fantastic. Brighton 6th, Aston Villa 7th in that one. So a real clash for Europa League football. It looks like Liverpool is confirmed in that Europa League places. But Douglas Luiz getting a goal for Aston Villa. And it's currently 1-0 to them against Brighton. And if you guys are wondering why, I keep, taking this off, it's because I need to change it and edit it, of course, as every goal will go in. So goals flying in the opening 10 minutes of the games we'd love to see it, and we'd love to see it here on one of our longest and most difficult streams that we've ever done here on the Footy Fan Zone, being covering all games from the final day of the 2022-23 Premier League season. Here come West Ham now with Cresswell down the line to Ben Rama. West Ham enjoying far too much possession for many Leicester fans' liking at the moment. Leicester don't seem to have the ball under their control. As previously mentioned, good for the third man on this show, Gary Best, is
not a goal.
We've got a goal.
1-0 Newcastle at Stamford Bridge. Anthony Gordon.
Well, the
Gordon gets for Newcastle.
Wow, the former Everton man as well, getting a goal for Newcastle. Has had another fantastic season under Eddie Howe, and it's been a great one. Obviously now I've got Champions League football. They're going on a European tour, but again, it's another goal conceded for Chelsea under Frank Lampard, who I'm guessing is going to be very, very happy to see the end the end of that, because it's been a very disappointing time for Chelsea under Lampard, hasn't it?
Yeah. I've got a bit more news on the Aston Villa goal.
Go on.
Apparently, Jacob Ramsey was powering down the left and finds Douglas Luiz with a clever cutback in the box. And Douglas Luiz just slots it into the far bottom corner. Assist by Jacob Ramsey.
I'll give it away here. Harvey Barnes. Oh, Iheanacho just got there. And stuff like that. But that was good. Sorry to cut you off, Elliot. I feel like I've been doing that a lot throughout this stream, and I do apologise.
I'm used to it.
Greatly. Liverpool take 1-0 up against Southampton. Southampton are just going to be happy to see the end of this season, but not before they host Liverpool. And it's the main man, Diogo Jota, who gets the goal for Liverpool 10 minutes in. So Liverpool, who, from their standards, has had a pretty poor season, but do have Europa League football next season. And Diogo Jota making sure that they end the game on and the season on a high. He is joined by Salah and the legend Bobby Firmino for the end of this one. But back to the King Power here. Ben Rama striking forward into Declan Rice. Now out to Fornals. Defending what needs to do here from that. It's a good block from Luke Thomas. Who's actually from where I'm from. Syston.
Information that I'll treasure for the rest of my life. That changed my life.
How much sarcasm can you fit into one live stream? We'll manage to see as possible.
Oh, and there's a goal at the Emirates.
Oh, over to Elliot. His team.
Granit Xhaka's last game for the club.
Thank God.
1-0 against. He's been good this year. 7 years he's been at the club.
Yeah, unless it's been his only good year. You may continue.
Nah, but anyway, his last game for the club puts Arsenal 1-0 up at the Emirates.
Thank you very much. I've had to change a few round because there's been so many goals. I'm struggling to keep up. As you can see, the banner will be kept updated as swiftly as possible. So there, Arsenal take a 1-0 lead against Wolves. Aston Villa 1-0 up against Brighton. Newcastle 1-0 up against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. Spurs, that early goal from Harry Kane potentially could confirm Leeds' departure. And then Liverpool are leading against already relegated Southampton. So goals galore at the moment. Hopefully that may continue.
Do you want more information on the Xhaka goal?
Go on, mate, because I've offended him so much. I probably want to hear more. Off you go.
I'll give it to you now. Right, Partey in the centre of the pitch finds a lovely diagonal ball over to Jesus on the right wing. Takes a few touches, crosses it in, and Xhaka's down the 6-yard box to header it home. 1-0 against Wolves.
Well, many people would put him in the team of the Premier League team of the season. He has had a good season with Arsenal, who of course have been venturing alongside Manchester City for the title race. He's definitely been a big part of that in the midfield.
Yeah, it was sad to see him go. I know he's had his moments, but overall, I've liked him as a player. He has been one of my favourites.
He's a controversial figure, which we don't have in football anymore. Like if that happened like 15, 20 years ago, you wouldn't really be. It'd just be another player. But I think because of the way football has changed,
since Arteta's come in, he's completely changed Xhaka. Completely different player. Only 15 million we're getting for him.
Is that because of contract?
Yeah, I think he's got 1 year left and he's 31.
Here by Iheanacho, and it went well wide of the target, but it's Leicester's first registered shot of the game. It was a lovely ball out to Dewsbury Hall. He's back in the side today, but he played it across the goal. Barnes had his bit of his leg tackles. It came out to him. And there's been another goal at St Mary's, and it's the man, the best teeth in football, Roberto Firmino, who gets a second goal for Liverpool at St Mary's, and it's Bobby Firmino, his final game in a Liverpool shirt. That's a legend, not Xhaka. He's a legend. The assist by fellow Brazilian Fabinho, fantastic to see. But a great ball here. Inacho takes it down. It's good defending though by Agard. But Leicester seems to be knocking on the door, which is very, very positive. So Liverpool are 2-0 up against Southampton. I'll tell you another team that's 2-0 up. It's Arsenal. Arsenal 2-0 up against Wolves. And it is the man that I've offended, and now he's just said, great, unbelievable. It's Granit Xhaka. Unbelievable.
What a last game he's having. Great send-off.
I'm really pleased for him. I'm really pleased. I'm really pleased I offended him that much.
He's taken that personally, mate.
Hey, if he's listening,
that is poor from Wolves. That's poor. Slick bit of play from Saka to go around a couple of players. Odegaard back heels it. Wolves player kicks it straight into the path of Xhaka, who's there just to tap it in.
So 17 minutes being played here at the King Power. Leicester 0, West Ham 0. It has been an even start to the game as things stand. And I'm sure a lot of Leicester fans are pleased to hear the news of Leeds, who are 1-0 down to Spurs. But of course, that Everton-Bournemouth game, who doesn't seem to be anything currently going on in that game at this current moment in time, which is going to be the worrying sign for Leicester.
Can I say what a day we're having so far? And we're only 20 minutes in.
It's the final day, mate, and what a final day it potentially might be. We've got so much else to cover, of course, but just to let you guys know about the finale of the Premier League season will be in the Footy Fan Zone next week, because we've got the awards, we've got Team of the Season, we've got a reaction to our potentially horrible tier list predictor that we did on the first episode, where we tried to predict the finishes of every Premier League team. We might have got some good ones right, but I think we've struggled in a few areas. So all of that and much more to conclude this season off with the next episode of the Footy Fan Zone. But you're here, guys. We're here live. Please consider subscribing, liking the stream, checking out all the great other stuff. That would be great to see. Sumari now passes it back to Tillemans, who takes up a shot, and it was always rising over the bar. We've seen him hit them from that distance, and it will be great to see that in a very important game for the Foxes. As you can see down the bottom of your screen now, all the scores, we're trying to update them, has frequently as possible. Here comes Barnes driving ahead, now plays over to Maddison. This is good from Leicester. Needs to find an opening now. Maddison into Sumari. Back to Maddison.
Cutting short, Kieran.
That's fine. That's a goal at Villa Park, over to Elliot.
Dennis Undav gets the equaliser. Yeah, all I've got at the minute is Undav with a goal and Ciso with the assist.
What a player.
Tell you what, he is on top form at the minute in Ciso. Goal against Man City midweek, and he's picked up an assist against Villa.
Maddison driving ahead, struggling to get Iheanacho in as well. By the way, just wanted to confirm as well, there's been a goal at St Mary's. James Ward-Prowse getting one back for Southampton. The main man, of course, who could be leaving Southampton, a lot of teams do want the free kick quality of James Ward-Prowse. He gets a goal back for the Saints 19 minutes in.
A third goal happening. There's a goal at Old Trafford.
Wow.
Fulham 1-0 up at Old Trafford. Kenny Tete with the goal. Puts Fulham 1-0 up against United. And you've got the assist by Willian.
Former Arsenal and Chelsea player doing...
Brighton. Their goal's been ruled out offside.
Oh.
VAR has ruled it out offside.
Well, I'm really pleased that I didn't edit it, because that would have been a lot of editing.
Wow. 3 goals in the space of about a minute.
We probably should be. We should probably do these a little bit more often.
Huh?
We should probably do these a little bit more often, especially with the amount of great stuff that we've got.
Tell you what, as it stands, Fulham got up to 10th. That is a very good season for them.
Well, a lot of people said they were going to go down.
Yeah.
Here's Ben Rama. To Antonio hits the ball over the bar. I hope I've got all the scores updated.
You'll have to change it in a second, I reckon.
That's what I'm a little bit concerned about. Is that I'll finish editing. There's been a goal off, for God's sake. Do it at half time. Update it at half time.
Tell you what, everyone looks up for it.
Oh God, yeah. Well, closing out the show. Is Castagna.
It's always sad to see the end of the season, isn't it?
It is, because you know there's going to be a summer without football. Some people might have the delight of that, of not having to have football every week. I could name a few people, but I'm not going to say that on camera. But for us football fans, it'll be sad to see it go. Wout Fass playing the ball over for Sumari to chase. Cresswell gets it away. Here's Flynn Downs, the youngster. Wout Fass covering a lot of ground there as he makes the challenge, but concedes the foul. It was really well done from him. They're the only games we've not had anything is Brentford versus Manchester City. That's currently still 0-0. And then Crystal Palace versus Forest. That's also 0-0. And Everton versus Bournemouth, which are the other games that we've not covered. Of course, no goals here, but this is your dedicated footy fan zone game. Leicester hosting West Ham on a big day for Leicester City, hoping to stay in the Premier League for another season after a very disappointing season. That has been helped by Leeds losing to Spurs, but it's all about that Everton-Bournemouth game. If Everton lose that one, Leicester City could be in a much better place. But Leicester have to win today, and it's currently deadlocked at the moment. Here's Cresswell.
Can I just say, Leeds, they might have to change formation at half time. They're currently playing the 5-4-1, and they need a goal.
I completely agree. Completely agree. Jamie Vardy there on the bench. I'm hoping that his presence will be very soon. It will be such a fairy tale if he gets the goal that keeps Leicester in the Premier League. Of course, a great servant to the Foxes for many years. Ben Rama now passes it back to Aged. Now back to Fabianski. And West Ham enjoying some pressure. I don't think we're going to be speaking a lot about West Ham in this game. But of course, West Ham got that Conference League final coming up against Fiorentina. But I did think they were going to rest a few players, but they've not. They've played out a strong team, and they're not looking too bad at the moment, which is frustrating to say. Castagna and hopefully play it down the line, in which he does. Maddison now picks the ball up into Tillemans. Here come Leicester City now.
you seen that some teams today are playing players in positions and just in general that you haven't seen all season or you just wouldn't expect? Right.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of big changes.
I like that, though. Good turn in from Iheanacho. Passes it back to Barnes. Easy save for Fabianski.
Arsenal's back four. You've
Go
got
on.
Kiwi. Huh?
Go on.
You've got Kiwi being deployed at left back. You've got Gabriel and Ben White in the centre. And you've got Partey at right back.
All right.
And then Leeds are playing Koch at centre mid. What other weird ones are there? Gordon as a centre mid.
I think they're just trying to be versatile because obviously at the end of the season, trying different things potentially. Especially for Arsenal and Newcastle, where there's not really much now on the line.
Not much to play for.
Not much to play for, but for Leeds, it is odd. It is odd. I will admit.
And there has been a goal at Villa Park.
Go on, over to you. Who scored it?
Aston Villa again, 2-0.
Wow.
After that goal was disallowed by Dennis Undab for Brighton, Villa have made it 2-0. And who else would it be than Ollie Watkins?
Yeah, definitely.
What a season he's had. Puts his tally up to 15 goals this season.
Did he get in the England squad?
I don't think so.
No, we'll touch on that probably when all the teams are at half time.
No, he didn't. He didn't get into the England squad.
Fair enough.
But it's only friendlies. Goal at Stamford Bridge again.
Wow, who is it for?
For the home team, Chelsea. 1-0. Own goal, Kieran Trippier.
Wow, the former Spurs man.
Yeah. What a season he's had, Trippier.
Yeah, definitely team of the season for me. But there was also been a missed penalty at Old Trafford. Mitrovic failed to double Fulham's lead. It was Tom Kearney who entered the box, and Casemiro, who has had a few red card incidences this season. He missed the ball completely and took out his leg. But Mitrovic, who's had a bit of time off because of that ban, he steps up against David De Gea and misses the penalty. So that's big for Fulham, who failed to double their lead. Good ball in, though. Can Iheanacho? Oh, he's took that out of the sky brilliantly. Iheanacho with the shot over the bar. Oh, my life.
They sound like they're getting closer to a goal.
They've had a few more chances over the last five minutes. Leicester, then West Ham.
There's another goal at the Emirates.
Is there? Who is it by? Is it Xhaka with his hat trick? Is he playing up top today?
No, he's not, I'm afraid. He's playing box to box. But no, this time it was Saka.
Ah, there we go.
Granit. I was about to say Granit Saka.
All right, nice.
Plenty is confusing.
Such an Arsenal fan you are.
This Wolves left-hand side has not been able to deal with Saka all game. Collects it on the right, little flick inside and curl into the top corner. Far post.
When I put up the graphic once more, you will, and if Elliot just directs his eyes to that, you'll notice in just one moment about a stunning goal at St Mary's. Why? Because he's now 2-2. Sulemana levels it up for Southampton. A lot of Southampton fans are hoping, well, why didn't you play exactly like that when we were fighting relegation? Well, it's a goal. It was assisted by former Arsenal man Theo Walcott, and Southampton are now level with Liverpool. So, wow. That's a massive. So, scores currently Arsenal 3-0 up against Wolves. Aston Villa in the fight for Europa football next season is 2-0 up against Brighton. Brentford and Man City are deadlocked as is Chelsea, Newcastle, that's 1-1. Crystal Palace and Forest are also 0-0, nothing covering from that game. A relegation battle between Everton and Bournemouth. That is still 0-0. Spurs took that early lead. That's still 1-0. Leicester West Ham, which is a dedicated game here on the Footy Fan Zone live stream, is 0-0. Fulham, after failing to double their lead with a Mitrovic missed penalty, they're 1-0 up against Man United at Old Trafford. And then Southampton, from 2 goals down, now it's back to 2-2. Southampton is currently Liverpool's new bogey team. But we're going to have to find another one, though, because Southampton are leaving the Premier League for Championship football next season. Let's see who will.
They've currently got a new manager for next year, Southampton.
Yeah, which we spoke about, who you said you're singing his praises, and rightfully so.
Russell Martin, yeah. He did. He played his part for MK Dons in League One. And then obviously went to Championship, where he got poached by Swansea, I believe.
Yeah, it was Swansea, because you said, yeah. I remember
he's done all right since being there.
He has.
Guided into a mid-table finish, 3 points off the playoffs. Now he gets his chance at big club in Southampton. Well deserved, I think.
Here comes Maddison, chips the ball in. Dewsbury Hall went down. And Fabianski rises the ball from the air. Dewsbury Hall is having a quick word with the referee. I don't think that was a foul, honestly. But there we go. We need a goal. We need a goal before half time. That's the main thing now. I'm slightly worried about Leicester now.
Oh, that's a throwback. I'm looking at the MLS scores from last night, and Christian Benteke scored for Rooney's DC United. But they end up losing, unfortunately. It's good to see that he's still doing the business.
There's finally been some news at Selhurst Park, because Nottingham Forest, who confirmed their safety last weekend against Arsenal, they are currently 1-0 up against Roy Hodgson's Palace, who again has been another team that has played very, very well this season. The news will filter through on actually who scored that goal in the 32nd minute for Nottingham Forest, but they do lead here on the final day.
I can tell you who scored.
Go on.
Taiwo Awoniyi with another goal.
He's a good player.
He's on form.
Yeah.
In his last 4 games, including this one, he scored 2 against Southampton, 2 against Chelsea, 1 against Arsenal, and now he's just scored against Palace. Crazy.
That's massive. So Nottingham Forest confirming their safety last week against Arsenal. Will their East Midlands rivals Leicester City confirm their safety today with a win against West Ham? That is what they need. They can't have anything else. Here comes Harvey Barnes now, driving forward. Good play into Iheanacho. It's Harvey Barnes! He's in! He's in! Leicester City 1-0 up against West Ham United, and it's Harvey Barnes. We might be safe.
Don't let Gary see you celebrate like that, mate.
Oh. Why? Oh yes, why? God, no. He should be supporting Leicester today. He works for them. After that,
huge goal for Leicester. Huge.
Harvey Barnes starts to move. Iheanacho, great pass back, completely beats Flynn Downs there, who was unaware of Harvey Barnes, and it's a great finish in the opposite corner. Leicester City are 1-0 up. And as results are going their way, if results stay the same, it's Everton and Leeds who are joining Southampton in the Championship next season. Oh my God.
Wow.
My heart's never been racing so much. Unbelievable. Oh my God.
Pressure goes on Everton. As the mood comes in around the stadium, what do you think the Everton fans are thinking?
I think a lot of Everton fans, and I'm not just saying this, and I'm as a Liverpool and Leicester fan, it's quite easy for me to sort of speak ill of them, but I think a lot of Everton fans, do think that it is their time to go, and that's not. I was listening to TalkSport, who are absolutely fantastic. I love TalkSport, and an Everton fan said, "I want them to go down," and you're like, "Hang on a minute, that's a fan, that's a fan of your club." Saying that you want to go down.
You want them to go down?
Yeah, that's what he said. That's what they said. But I just think it's that tiresome of being in the league, losing every week, and a lot of people go, yeah, well, Everton will come straight back up. It's difficult. It's difficult to come straight back up to the Premier League. And
you can't say when someone goes down, you can't say, they'll come straight back up. We've seen it before.
We have seen it before.
Expect people to go down and completely boss the league like Burnley have done. But sometimes it just doesn't happen.
Maddison takes a wild shot there. And it does go wide. But Leicester City, for me, Leicester now need to keep their heads. Shooting from ridiculous places, like we've just seen there from Maddison. He can't do that. That's what I'm just going to say. He can't do that. So to me personally, it's all about get that second goal, because get a third, really, really confirm it, because if Everton score one, you're down. That's the position Leicester have put themselves in. But at the moment, we don't want. I'd much rather win 3-0 and Everton score one than us win 1-0 after having about 15, 16 shots from distance, where they're going to go well wide, and Everton win 1-0. Well done. You've just, but that's what I mean. Keep their heads now. Leicester are going to keep their heads.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you debate of do they go for another goal?
Maddison driving forward here. Could this be two? No, it's a block from Aaron Cresswell, and it's out for a Leicester City corner. Leicester are on top here from the Hammers here. They're the hammer. West Ham are the nail at the moment. I'll hear back to you, right?
But yes, as I was saying, it's the question of as a Leicester player and as the manager, do you push for another goal to get that 2-goal cushion, or do you try and stick the 1-0 and sit back and just make sure you don't concede?
I'm not sure, because I do think it was Dean Smith set them up very much as Leicester, they were playing against Newcastle. West Ham are Newcastle, so that's the most important thing. So to me, Leicester are up for it. The fans are up for it. They can go for a second goal, but they've also got to make sure now that they don't be their own downfall.
Yes.
They don't put themselves down, and that's the most important thing. So we're going to
down right to the wire.
Yeah, absolutely. We want to make sure that that happens. Obviously, Everton have now got a big job to do. Leeds have got a big job to do, because Leeds are not out of it yet. Leeds are still losing 1-0 to Spurs. We're saying,
can Big Sam get a reaction from his team?
I'm not sure. I think he made a few odd choices. He's made a few odd choices since his time there.
Yeah, I mean, a game you've got to win, and he goes 5-4-1 and plays a centre back in centre mid as well. And there's a goal at Villa Park again and Old Trafford.
Go on then. We'll cover. We'll go over to the fight fight for Europe. First with Elliot, who scores for Brighton.
Dennis Undav gets his goal. And
Finally.
It looks like it's not ruled out for now.
This guy really makes me laugh because didn't he score an own goal against Newcastle, got booked, then scored? Like, he was having a great game, he was. Like, fantasy football, his points were going up and down.
He scored against us as well. But, goal for Undav, assist by Gross.
What?
There's a joke that me and mates have of Grob, and I can't stop saying it.
That was an inside joke, wasn't it, that we had?
It's an inside joke where you say it, and you're like, I didn't mean to say that. But anyway. But taking it to Old Trafford.
Yeah.
Goal for Man United, 1-0. After that Mitrovic penalty miss. To put them 2-0 up. Jadon Sancho's got the goal to bring it back to 1-0.
Wow, that is big.
Yeah. It's about all I can give you at the minute for them. I can give you more information about the Undav goal.
Over to you.
Apparently, it was a well-worked free kick with Gross playing a direct ball from deep, and Undav controls it beautifully and just slots it past Martinez.
Well, Declan Rice is
got the Man United goal.
Well, we'll go to you in just a minute, but there seems to be some sort of issues here. Declan Rice does win the ball, but just catches Iheanacho on the ankle. He does hurt himself as well in the process. There was nothing that Rice could do about it. It looks like he's going to pick up a yellow card for the incident. Rice was infuriated about it. Then he calmed down. Then something's happened again where he's now got infuriated, but he's just waved it off now, the West Ham skipper.
It's all happening there.
It is all happening there. Iheanacho walking up to him now and having a quick word. No card has been distributed, which I thought for a minute Rice was going to pick up a yellow card for the incident. But here's a Leicester free kick. Rice clearly not happy. Iheanacho's gave up talking to him, which, okay.
Well, none of that at Arsenal next year, Rice. No yellow cards next year.
Oh, yeah. Because you really rated Xhaka for all the time he was there, even though he had about 14 red cards. Yeah. I rate him. One good season. One good season, 7 years.
I'd rather players show heart and passion and get yellows than...
Yeah, of course.
But how many times have we seen Xhaka's passion? He's been sent off God knows how many times.
Yeah, but sometimes Xhaka's... We're speaking too much about him today. Xhaka's passion...
This changes to the Xhaka show.
No. Well, if he wants some investment, if he's going to pay for some investment, then he can. Yeah, I'll be happy with that. Here comes Antonio driving forward for West Ham, who confirmed their safety a couple of weeks ago. The big result against Manchester United comes to mind regarding their safety in the Conference League final as well. The first ever live stream we did was Arsenal versus West Ham, with Gary saying sack the man. Well, the man has now got them into a Conference League final. So I have confirmed to Gary that. Well, if I've also said to him that if that happens, and if they do win the Conference League, then that is going to get clipped. Will be put into a short, and he'll have to deal with that. Hopefully, we can hear from Gary at half time. Here is live at the King Power Stadium. He can give us real live analysis on exactly what he thinks here. But that is the game covered on Footy Fan Zone with as we're keeping up to date with all of the other 10 Premier League games for you as well. We'll also be speaking about the England squad announcement as well, when all teams are concluded for half-time, which will be in just a few minutes as well. Here's Rice to Paqueta. Good challenge. Samari now picks up the ball. Dewsbury Hall now into Samari. And Leicester pick up the ball here. One added minute here at the King Power Stadium. We will tell you guys when games are at half time. As well. Again, into Yuri Tillemans, into Sumari. Spania, Leicester enjoying some possession late on in this first half, hoping to go into the break 1-0 up against West Ham. No team is done yet for the first half, but we are here at King Power. Harvey Barnes' goal is the difference maker at the moment for the Foxes. Is a very good start for Dean Smith's men, who is 1-0 up at the break and could ensure that they stay in the Premier League next season. Fantastic, absolutely fantastic to see there. In other games, is there any other? Crystal Palace, Forest at half-time, 1-0. The only game that we haven't even spoken about is Brentford Man City, surprisingly. That's at half-time, and that is 0-0. So solid from Thomas Frank's men to go in at the break. And just to confirm, ladies and gentlemen, we will be having the tones, because on the phone right now we have the man Gary Best, who is now going to come onto stream. Here he is, Gary. You're live on Footy Fan Zone, mate. You're live on the stream, mate. How are you, mate? 1-0 up to the Foxes, mate. Talk us about it.
Yeah, Leicester 1-0 up. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant atmosphere. It's been perfect. Keeping Leicester up, and as they are, and just hopefully it stays that way.
Talk about Harvey Barnes' goal, mate. How was it, the build-up play? You, judging from where you're sitting, you were right near it, so fantastic eyes on it.
Yeah, quite near it. Brilliant goal. Well played by Leicester. Perfect. Absolutely perfect.
They seem to be going for it a lot more, Gaz, than than obviously the game against Newcastle. Is that because of West Ham? Because West Ham have not put out a weak side. We spoke about this and we thought that they would. They most definitely haven't. They've put out a pretty strong side.
They went on put out a really strong side. Well, they would because of the Conference League final. But I don't think it would have really happened. I think boys just want to run out for the boys and get them firing up again. But yeah, Leicester have been all over the West Ham as it stands.
Talk to me about that. Talk to me about this then. Really early on, Leeds losing at Spurs by 1-0. Nothing happened at Goodison Park yet. What was the noise when everyone realised that Leeds were losing?
Yeah, the whole of the Leicester group erupted, mate. Honestly, they erupted. Find out the Leeds were 1-0 down, and obviously the Bournemouth are currently drawing. So it's, as it stands, like we said, Leicester stay up by goal difference.
It's great to see, mate. It's great to see. Just one more word on it. Obviously, it's great for you to watch West Ham live. I know that it's a bit of conflict of interest for you because you're in the Leicester stand. But obviously, the big final coming up. Are you seeing good signs at the moment? Obviously, watching them live's a bit different than telly. Is it good to see?
To be fair, I think it's a rest. I think Rice near the end, I think to give them a bit of a rest, ready for the final. And I think Leicester and Farmer as well so in. And I think that will just give them that rest, ready for the final.
Yeah, absolutely. Got nothing to play for. Already confirmed safety and hopefully get that Conference League. Elliot, any questions to Gary? Hopefully you can hear Elliot with a question. If not, I will repeat it.
I've got no question.
The only question I'm going to ask is, who do you think is going to stay up and who's going down?
What was that?
No. He said who's staying up and who's going down in your opinion.
Well, as it stands, Leicester are staying.
Yeah,
As it stands.
As it stands, and that's all that matters. Gaz, an absolute pleasure, mate. We will let you go. I do understand that you have got requirements after the game, so we will hopefully, well, if you can, drop me a message and hopefully we can have a chat about that. Hopefully some good news. But enjoy the second half, mate. It's fantastic. Great, mate. Thank you very much, brother. And we'll see you next week on it.
That's it, man.
Bye. On the phone there, Gary Best. Live from the King Power. Great to see. Fantastic to see. I'm really, really pleased that Gary's got the opportunity to obviously watch the game. But all the half-time scores, nothing changed since we were on the phone to Gary, which is a really good sign. I didn't want to cut Gary off at all while he was talking to us. But as Gary keeps reiterating, as it confirms, Leicester stay up on goal difference and level on points with Everton, but Everton will be heading down, and also Leeds as well with that loss could confirm their place after that 2-minute goal from Harry Kane. But enough about the Premier League. Let's speak about England, because we have got the squad, the England squad. So, which is good. Obviously, we'll touch on. They have got some friendlies coming up. So,
can you see that?
Yes, I can. There we go. Got it here. So let's obviously speak about the goalkeepers. And just sort of go through it. Jordan Pickford, Aaron Ramsdale, and Sam Johnston. Now, a lot of people are going to be surprised by Sam Johnston, but of course, Nick Pope, he's having an operation on his hand, so unfortunately, he can't be picked in the squad. So that's why Sam Johnston comes in. Apart from, unfortunately, Sam Johnston probably wouldn't be the first name to be named on this sort of sheet. But I'm guessing Jordan, but the usual for Pickford and Ramsdale.
Yeah, them two. They're going to be there for every squad, aren't they?
They are.
Every squad they're going to be in there. And obviously, Johnston's just in there just to make the numbers, isn't he?
Yeah, of course. But it's great to see. I'm always a fan of when things happen. Things happen like that because, it's the experience of being in and amongst an England camp. And having that experience of working with obviously top coaches, being in that, sort of area and stuff like that, you do want to be part of that experience, which is really great.
Yeah.
Let's move into the defenders. Trent Alexander-Arnold, who's had I'd say a really positive end to the season. He's had a very questionable beginning, but
since he's pushed further into a more central position,
yeah, absolutely.
I think he's been so much better.
Yeah, absolutely. But he comes in, and as well, more notable names, obviously Harry Maguire, Tyrone Mings, who's had sometimes. Then Luke Shaw, John Stones. John Stones has had a fantastic season. Same as Trippier and obviously Walker as well, who seems to be the most experienced, one of the most now coming into the most experienced, and the way he interviews it shows incredible of his maturity. Mark Guay, who has been linked, Gaia, who's come into a lot of people's names about he might be leaving Selhurst Park. Really, really great to see him because, again, it's very, very easy for us to go, well, he's had a great season. He's been really, really good at Crystal Palace, who seems to be rebuilding and has had a lot of really great players.
Yeah, I think. I would put him in every squad because I rate him highly, Gahey. And yeah, the fact that Southgate sees that as well, and Gahey's only young as well, so I think he will be in near enough all the future squads. And he's had a great season, and he's only going to get better, isn't he?
He is. Lewis Dunk is also there. Had a great season at Brighton. It's been a while. It's been a while for a lot of people have been very much hinting at it. A lot of people says that Tomori should have potentially been put into this squad. Your thoughts on Lewis Dunk coming in? Because a lot of people are saying that he's the outlier.
Look, I think Dunk deserves to be in there. I've been saying for a couple of seasons now, he deserves an England call-up because, again, I rate him highly. He's a quality centre-back. He's a leader. He's experienced. And I think he's one of the main reasons why that Brighton side are excelling so well.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
About the Tomori thing, again, I don't know why he's not in there.
Who would you take out?
Huh?
Who would you take out?
Mings.
I agree.
He's had a great season in Italy. Tomori again. And it's that question again of what does he have to do to get into that England squad?
Yeah. Do you know what? And this shouldn't be the case, and this is not like me confirming. But unfortunately, I do think it is because of him playing in Italy. He's done really great in Milan, and I don't really know what team could potentially come in for him. And him, obviously, had his time at Chelsea. I just think it's because, do you think Gareth Southgate is really going to go over and watch Italian football? He's always at Premier League stadiums, and I know that shouldn't be the reason. I agree that he should be in, but I don't know. I just feel like a lot of people will be like, yeah, but he plays in Italy, but it doesn't matter. Unfortunately,
you don't have to go and watch him.
Yeah,
see that he's a top centre back,
he's a great
top centre half, and he would probably start next to Stones.
Yeah. Let's move into the midfield then. Bellingham, Gallagher, Jordan Henderson, Calvin Phillips, and Declan Rice has all had some fantastic experiences in an England shirt. But the main one I want to focus on here is Eze, because a fantastic season at Palace, scored some absolute screamers in a Palace shirt. It's really, really great to see him play. A lot of people obviously, he'd probably be replacing Mount, who's had a pretty poor season at Chelsea. Not down to his own ability, because I do think there's a lot of wrong going on at Chelsea, who are drawing in Newcastle, by the way, today. You can see at the bottom. But Eze, what a great player. Again, another young player who can experience, an England cap.
Yeah, I think it's 100% deserved. This season he's been insane, especially under Roy Hodgson these past few months.
Yeah.
He's really excelled, and look, I do think he has been one of the best midfielders since Hodgson came in. I think he deserved an England call-up before. But yeah, I'm glad to see him in because he does deserve it, and I think he'll do very well. I know it's only against Malta and North Macedonia, but I'd like to get a decent amount of game time,
but he probably might play in them games. If there was any if it was against the big teams, you probably would think okay, he's not going to be there, but a little experience. He might play.
Yeah,
You know.
I mean, look, there's 6 midfielders there. I expect him to play 3 one game and 3 the other. But yeah, if we see Eze play at least 60, 70 minutes, I think he'll play really well.
Anybody that's missing from that midfield list, because it's quite a small midfield list. And who would you take out? Who would you take out?
Possibly Calvin Phillips, because he's played 2 games this season.
Yeah.
Gallagher, I don't think he's had that great of a season.
Who you added in?
Huh?
Who you added in then?
For some reason I forgot what English midfielders actually are. We've got players.
Do you put Mountain ahead of Gallagher?
I don't know. But you got players like Jacob Ramsey. He's been very good this year.
Yeah.
He could be within a shout. You've got... Who else have you got in there? I could be wrong. Maybe there's not many. Maybe there's not many that can come in. But
I mean, honestly, would you? I mean, for me personally, looking at this, I think you'd put Maddison in the midfield, and then you probably would like chuck in another attacker. You probably put Maddison in the midfield, and then probably put in like I don't know, because I don't know who you could potentially put in.
yeah,
But I do think Maddison could potentially sort of help that. I think.
Honestly, do you know who I would put in that England team?
Go on.
Dewsbury Hall.
Yeah, that's a good shout. He's played more than Gallagher, but also he's coming back from an injury. He's playing today, but he has been coming back from an injury.
Yeah.
So potentially that probably counts. I think it's quite difficult, by the way, to try and try and predict exactly what Gareth Southgate's thinking, because sometimes I don't even know what he's thinking.
He's not going to pick the best players in every position because it's a qualifier, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Attackers then: Phil Foden, Jack Grealish, Harry Kane, Maddison, Rashford, Saka, and Wilson. Not really any bad ones. I know, obviously, a lot of
people can't really complain, can you?
Not really. I think the only one that you could possibly say, why isn't he in there? But other requirements says it's Tony. But obviously, I know he can't play in, so that'd be the only one where. Yeah, Watkins. I don't know who you take out of that though.
No, that's what I mean. Watkins is a very good player.
It'd be between him or I like Wilson. I think he's a great player. So I think it'd be between Wilson and Watkins for me.
Yeah.
Either of them, I'll be pleased with it. But it's one of them where you go, I can't really argue with that. If you put Maddison in the midfield, then you'd probably put Watkins in. But that's probably because then Rashford can play on the wing, Grealish plays on the wing, Foden plays on the wing.
Yeah.
Kane is your only out-and-out striker alongside Wilson. But if you put in Watkins there that have the three, you could change up like formations, which I think sometimes England need to do.
Yeah. But we're going to stick with 4-3-3, aren't we?
We are, but I just think, sometimes I don't think a 4-4-2 would go amiss, particularly with, stuff like that. But I do think playing potentially 2 strikers, like Wilson and Kane are 2 very different are 2 very similar strikers, apologies. So you probably would say... What's that?
Do you say Wilson and Kane are similar strikers?
Yeah, because they're good in the air. They're good in, they're good in... Yeah, I'd say they're good in, they're good in the air. Wilson's a bit quicker. But
Wilson's getting behind. Kane's a target man.
Yeah, I know, but I think because of the height and stuff like that, Wilson's got a good headers this season. So
yeah, I think second half's kicking off.
Yeah, well, we'll drop that one then. We'll drop that. So that's obviously the England squad. So we're back into the Premier League. Thank you very much for Elliot for providing that, mate. Thank you very much, mate.
It's all right.
So it is all nerves. 45 minutes of complete and utter nerves is setting in here. The Bournemouth players now coming out. of the very tight Everton tunnel.
Can I just say, he's not leaving us this stream. Saka is trending on Twitter.
That's great. That's fantastic.
It's all right.
There's been a goal
love
at
it.
St Mary's, and it has gone to the home team, Southampton, from 2-0 down after 15 minutes, are now 3-2 up against Liverpool. We are waiting on the scorer. It's that man again, isn't it? Sulemana, who's got the goal. He's second of the game, and just after half time as well. So, wow, what a bright start for Southampton. They must have had their oranges, their oranges in their Lucozade energy. But Southampton are now 3-2 up against Liverpool. So, well, it's 2 minutes into the first half, we got a goal. About 2 minutes into the second half, we've got a goal in a completely different game. But that is what's great after covering 10 games, and we're doing our best, aren't we? We're doing our best to keep up to date with them. Yeah. Please stick with us if the second half goes downhill. It's just a bit depressing every time I still edit this thing, but it's ones that I really don't want to edit. So the game here at King Power kicks back off. Kufau with the ball in, cleared by Wout Fass. And a lot, obviously, Gary's point that was made at half time was, that West Ham potentially should be resting some players, that he's not took anybody off yet. There's no substitutions. Here's Ben Rama driving forward for West Ham. Ball ends up back in the box. Evans chests it out, but he was fouled. So Everton. Well, Leicester do get the free kick. Obviously, as we mentioned before, congratulations to Luton, who beat Coventry 6-5 on penalties to reach the Premier League. They joined Burnley and Sheffield United in the Premier League next season. Really great to see. So congratulations to everybody at Luton. And also congratulations to everybody at Carlisle, because they beat Stockport 5-4 on penalties just before the final day of the Premier League kicks off. So Carlisle will be going into League One next season. The League One final will be Barnsley versus Sheffield Wednesday. So, and there's been a goal at Ellen Road, and it's a double the lead for Tottenham Hotspurs. Oro with a goal there. He's been, can I just say, since he's come and I've watched Spurs games, which are honestly not a lot, he's been the most advanced fullback I've ever witnessed at Spurs. He's so, oh my God. If you watch Pedro Porro.
Oh, he's playing right midfield today.
Thank God for that, because I tell you what, he plays about right wing, right striker, left striker. I've never witnessed. That's probably why they leak so many goals. But that is massive. That is absolutely massive. The stars are shining on Leicester at the moment, because Leeds are losing and Everton are drawing, meaning that Leicester are safe on goal difference. Oh my God, it might be happening. This is incredible. I spoke to my dad last night, who got incredibly frustrated with Leicester, and he said, "Oh, I'm quite pleased I'm not watching it, because every single Leicester game I watch, they end up losing. So hopefully he is watching. I'm sure I'm sure he's plucked up the courage to. Here's Sumari now, tries to clear, but was fouled by Paqueta.
I think my dad's watching the Everton game at the minute. No relevance to him whatsoever because he supports Ipswich.
The blue.
Ipswich.
It's blue. It's the blue shirt. He just looks at a blue shirt. Oh yeah, that
supports every team in blue.
We need him on here. We need him on here to just keep me up to date with the Everton one.
We do. Big up Ipswich though, getting promoted to the Championship again after a long few years in League One.
Yes, yeah. I forgot to mention them. I apologise. Congratulations to all the teams that have been promoted.
Yeah, I mean, I had a season ticket last season, and that was painful to see Ipswich in League One. A team that's that big, and they've got some quality players.
I'm not laughing at you, by the way. I'm not laughing at you. I'll tell you why I'm laughing in a minute. Carry on.
Well, I'm just glad they finally got promoted. And then obviously, I'm going to go to first couple of games next season for Ipswich, I think.
Yeah, good man.
And throughout the season, I'll nip some Ipswich games.
Yeah, that's great, mate. That's great. The reason why I was laughing is that every single time there's something happens at Leeds, there's the same Leicester fan who seems to be on this like little radio device you see like an 80s cop show, and he's just listening into obviously the game, which is great to, I understand why he's doing it, but it's almost like he's the only fan in the entire stadium that's doing it. It's absolutely brilliant. So that just made me laugh. It's made me laugh.
That's brilliant.
West Ham here with the corner. Aaron Cresswell. And Johnny Evans with a header towards goal, but it's gone scarily wide. I'm not sure how much he knew about that, especially with his reaction being his sort of head on his hands like he'd missed a goal. I'm not sure exactly what Johnny Evans was thinking there, but there we go.
Arsenal now 4-0 up at home against Wolves.
All right, yeah. Who scored?
Wolves are really not playing well. It's Thomas Partey with the goal.
Wow. Right back. The next Arsenal right back.
But yeah, the corner, Gabriel headers it in. Keeper was about to collect it. Hits Collins in the chest. Bounces all over the place. And just falls to Partey inside the 6-yard box to just put it home on his left foot. And Wolves, this has been a lackluster performance. They've done nothing. It has not been good. I think Lopetegui's in the stands, isn't he?
Is that?
Lopetegui, I think he's been banned for this game, hasn't he?
Yeah.
You can tell being 4-0 down. Oh, no, never mind. Goal ruled out for a foul. Still the 3-0. But there's been a goal at Old Trafford.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Everton, how the hell did they miss that? There was a header from Onana that was in the 6-yard box, and he put it straight at the keeper. Any side, that would have gone in for sure. My God.
2-1 at Old Trafford now. Man United have taken the lead. After Mitrovic had that penalty, and Sancho got the equaliser, Bruno Fernandes puts them 2-1 up.
Well, I just wanted. Well, that's obviously big for Man United, but I just wanted to also confirm that Arsenal are 3-0 up then, or are they 4-0 up?
Arsenal 3-0 up. Goal was disallowed for a foul.
Oh, okay, wow. So Arsenal still firmly in the driving seat, but not by a 4-goal lead, but by 3. But that doesn't really matter, I don't think.
Can I just say, my mate has just sent me a message. Dewsbury Hall is genuinely one of the best midfielders I've seen.
Good player.
Bear in
Good
mind he's a
player.
Luton fan and he was on loan at Luton 2 years ago, so that's probably why.
Thank you very much for giving us a little bit more details as to why he thinks that.
Yeah.
But,
Might be a bit biased, but no, he is
Yeah.
a very good player.
the thing is, though, is that if he says that, a lot of people will be like, are you a Leicester fan? No, Luton fan. Well, but he used to play at Luton. Oh.
Yeah, he's on loan like 2 years ago. This dude loves all the players that played for Luton, like James Justin and stuff like that, and James Bree and
The only game that we've not had anything to cover from in terms of goals, we've been keeping an eye on the Everton ball before because of the relegation fights. We have been talking about it. The only game I don't think we've even had a mere mention of is Brentford versus Manchester City, who is still 0-0 after an hour played. So what's going on there? I do not know. Kufal in the box, cleared by Fars. It's a West Ham corner. Oh, I will tell you something. Thomas Frank has been yellow carded.
oh, lovely. Do you know what for?
Absolutely not. It's not
He looks
cool.
like that type of manager to get himself in the book.
I think Klopp has been the manager with the most yellow cards in Premier League history.
He's probably had more yellow cards than some players.
Yeah. The best one of the funniest moments of this season was 100% when he was like gloating in front of the.
How I'm going to stop you there? Everton 1-0 up against Bournemouth.
Oh no!
Huge goal. Wow. Kieran's reaction says it all. Abdoulaye Doucouré. They've just given him an extension, and he is repaid with the goal that could possibly keep them up. Kieran, what are you thinking? How are you feeling?
I can't swear. With Gary said due to copyright issues that we can't swear, so I'm gonna try and
let us know how you feel in the politest way possible.
Horrible. Is that
a big blow, isn't it? Goal at the Emirates. Now is for Gabriel Jesus. Header at the back post, assisted by Trossard. Sorry, anyway, back to you.
Yeah, back to me. Back to me.
How are you feeling?
Man. Well, they're in the driving seat, weren't they? Coming into this game. Oh God, I don't really know, to be honest. So I'm not saying it was bound to happen.
It's got to be a killer.
Yeah, they will share the goal now. It's a great strike. It's a great strike. I can't. He was so important in that game against Brighton, which a lot of people said that he did. That would keep him in the Premier League. A lot of people said that victory against Brighton. But I don't even want to change this on the graph on the banner either. Oh man!
When Everton sacked Lampard and brought in Dyche, they brought him in to keep them up. Has he just about done that?
Yeah, for the skin of his teeth, and that's not me. And that's not me sort of trying to say with the bias that it has him. And had a great start. I was actually in Liverpool when they the same guys have just popped up with the radio again. So, I was actually in Liverpool when they beat Arsenal 1-0 in his first game, and you obviously with the stadiums being so close to each other, you could just generally hear the roar Oh my God, West Ham had just hit the post. Oh my God, that could have gone even worse.
Tough times for Leicester. They really need to get back on it.
Well, you know what? We need to. We mentioned in the first half about how, Leicester, do they go for the attacking? No, it was a great shot from Ben Rama. And, Antonio, but you went down far too easy there, mate. My God.
Saka's taken a couple of knocks this game, so he's been taken off early. 60th minute. And Reece Nelson's coming on. Obviously, there's rumours about him rejecting deals and wanting to negotiate a deal with Arsenal, and he's just come on for the last 30 minutes of the season. Kieran, last 30 minutes of the season, how good has this season been?
Can I give you my answer in half an hour?
You can.
Or maybe.
Right, let's talk about towards the top then.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So let's talk about when Liverpool are not in the Champions League. Very nice. I'm sorry. I nearly swore. Ings and Bowen are coming on now. This is
Huge.
Tielemans now with a free kick, but as we mentioned, Leicester now have got to go. Is it? Leicester are 2-0 up. Wood fast with the header. Tielemans with a great free kick, and it's a great header from the Belgian centre back.
Huge.
And he's got Leicester's second goal of the game. It's a little bit bittersweet in this, mainly because it doesn't really matter. It's a insurance goal, don't get me wrong, but now it's all about whether Bournemouth can score against Everton.
Their hopes rely on Bournemouth now.
Absolutely. But there's also been another goal at St Mary's, and it's not gone to Liverpool. Adam Armstrong scoring the fourth of the game for Southampton. That is massive. Wow. He came on for the injured Romeo Lava, who had to come off. And Adam Armstrong picks up a goal. So Liverpool, who have definitely got Europa League football next season, are not ending the season on a high. Southampton 4, Liverpool 2 at St Mary's. And a lot of Southampton fans must be questioning where the hell have them goals come from. Ings and Bowen on as well now for West Ham. I'm not going to lie. I'm quite pleased to see them coming on after we're 2-0 up. But as I've just mentioned, it doesn't matter. Everton are 2 points ahead of Leicester now because they are leading 1-0 against Bournemouth. And all across.
There has been a goal at Crystal Palace.
Oh, and when you said a goal, I thought, oh my God. Yeah, no, go on.
I know that's one of your games you're covering, Kieran, but I saw it, so I thought, oh.
Yeah, please do. Who scored? Who scored for the Eagles?
Will Hughes.
I like him.
You don't mind if he scores?
No, it doesn't really matter. No, I'm pleased that Will Hughes has scored, to be honest.
Yeah, good
player. He's a bad player. He's a tough player. Like, he's one of them players which, like, in the midfield, is.
That was. Can we quickly do that video I've just sent you? That was a great bit of skill.
Oh, yeah, lovely. Thomas into Johnny Evans. Now we pass back to Johnny Evans. Leicester enjoying possession. Murray to Maddison. And as I mentioned right at the beginning of the day and the stream, you know, Leicester had to get a win. They are winning. It's just now down to, you know what exactly, happens in the game. Crunching challenge from Johnny Evans. They will pick up a yellow card for the foul. "25 minutes. And it is still 1-0 to Everton. Doucouré. Kiefer Moore is on.
We know one man that loves Kiefer Moore, don't we, Kieran?
We do indeed. Come on, you Welsh legend. Come on, mate. Well, that's a strong challenge from Ings. I'm surprised he's not going to get a yellow card for this. He isn't. I'm surprised, though, because that was a challenge from the back. Oh, no, he is. The referee just delayed it a bit. Did you have to think about that, mate?
Tomorrow's the League One playoff final.
It is. Barnsley versus
Sheff Wednesday. Sheff Wednesday could look for a return straight back up to the Championship. Actually, both of them will go straight back up. Whoever wins.
I watched Barnsley versus Lincoln.
Yeah, I was with you.
We did. Yeah, we did, didn't we? We watched it together.
Made a video on it, didn't we?
We did.
Check that out.
Yes, but he's got used to this YouTube life now. You link everything. You suggest everything.
I do. Don't know if people listen, but
oh, and it's all going. Nothing is going right for Leicester at the moment because Everton are winning and Leeds have got one back. Leeds getting one back against Spurs. I don't know.
Can they bring back the deficit?
Is Jack Harrison with the goal in the 67th minute for Leeds? Maybe I don't think so personally. It will take something big.
Do you reckon that's the consolation goal?
Yeah, probably. Well, they've got to score another two, haven't they? They can't draw.
Yeah, but actually, I was going to say something then, but I better not in case Spurs fans are watching.
Yeah,
I was going to say anything's possible when you play against Spurs.
Well, Maddison, what a run this is! Maddison, and it was a very tame shot because he was getting pulled back. If we weren't recording and I wasn't saying about watching it, Bowen with great control, good save from Iverson, back to Bowen, now into Ings, who has completely skied it over the bar. That was a big chance for West Ham, probably their best chance of the game. It's all happening in St Mary's because Liverpool has got one back. It's now 4-3.
Huge.
What a game. That is a 7-goal thriller at St Mary's. A lot of people would not be predicting that as the game kicked off. But Liverpool do get one back, and it is Cody Gakpo who gets the goal, and it is an assist by Trent Alexander-Arnold in that transitional position that he has been playing. So it's now 4-3 to Southampton. And it's 3-1 at Ellen Road.
Harry Kane with his second. That's got to be it for Leeds, surely.
I don't think Leeds now are the issue. I think Leeds are down. It's the Everton-Leicester battle now for the final.
That is sad to see. Leeds down. Well, I don't want to see any of these teams going down. But it is sad to see them go down, isn't it?
Yeah, do you know what? In all honesty, I do have a bit of a soft spot.
Stop you there. Leeds just scored. Liverpool just scored again. 4-0. Jota.
What a game that is in the St. Mary's. My God.
4-4. That is a last game of the season game. That is.
That's a game where they'll just score.
Mid-season, that'd be 1-0.
Dewsbury Hall coming off, Mendy coming on. I think Dean Smith's trying to play defensive players. Moyes is also making some swaps of his own. Cornet and Emerson coming on for the Hammers. I'm currently in the process of updating all the scores.
As it stands with about 20 minutes to go, it is Southampton, Leeds and Leicester that are dropping down to the Championship. Huge. In other news, we'll go over to La Liga quickly.
Go on.
Barcelona beating Mallorca 1-0. Ansu Fati in the first minute. Just thought I'd let you know. Mate, now there's other games kicking off. I'm looking at La Liga and I'm looking at Prem. You seen Jordi Alba's leaving Barcelona, by the way?
Yeah.
After like 12 years or something.
Yeah, he's been a great servant to Barcelona. That was a great player. We actually did. The person that I did this with will remain nameless. But we were doing this sort of Real Madrid Galactic 2015 team of Barcelona with MSN in, and who was the best. And to be honest, Zidane was in, Xavi, stuff like that. So you had obviously Messi was in and stuff like that. So you did have some players which you thought, yeah, fair enough. But then, we got to the left back, position. It was Jordi Alba versus Roberto Carlos. Now, I said Roberto Carlos, and he went Jordi Alba. Now, I was like, sorry? Who would you put in that, Jordi Alba or Roberto Carlos?
I mean, I love Jordi Alba, even quality.
Oh, he's a great player.
But I think Carlos is just different gravy, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
He's something different.
So we ended up for president of elimination, we had to end up with bloody Jordi Alba in. I was like, don't get me wrong, he's a fantastic player, but Roberto Carlos is probably one of the best left backs of all time.
Where do you think he'll go, Jordi Alba? He's been linked with Saudi Arabia, him and Busquets.
Yeah, probably Saudi Arabia's become the new sort of MLS where they play. Probably probably see the Saudi or MLS potentially.
Yeah.
Flynn Downs over to Fornows. Now to Kufal. Ball in. Cornet headers down into the floor. Danny Ings to Mario with a challenge. Evans just chips it out as far as Emerson. Poor clearance from Johnny Evans, I would admit. Kufal back in. Tillemans with a header. Flynn Downs into Rice. Rice into Emerson. And whatever happens here, they need Bournemouth to score once. That's all they need. Pickford's been yellow carded.
That's Shaka's day done.
He's off.
74.5 minutes. He got a brace on his last game.
We should have done this thing before where we were like, let's have a shot for every single time. We mentioned the word Xhaka here. We probably won't be carrying on the stream, to be honest.
Mate, it's a sad day.
Yes, it is. It is. You are right, mate. As mentioned, Pickford got booked potentially for time, well, probably for time wasting knowing him.
We still haven't mentioned the Man City Brentford game.
Oh, we mentioned.
Huh?
Thomas Frank's been booked. That was the only thing I've mentioned.
Yeah, there's not really a lot going on.
If we weren't on stream, I'd probably put the Everton game on by now.
Huh?
If we weren't on stream, I'd probably put the Everton stream on right now. The Everton game.
We'll watch both of them.
Well, no, probably. Probably leave a Leicester one and go on to Everton's.
Fair enough.
Maddison, will he take the shot? He will. And it's a call to Leicester. Bad things stand. And they probably do know the scoreline, probably due to the fans' reactions. Iheanacho coming off. He has had a good game. Here comes the party. Jamie Vardy.
I'm just staring at all the scores at the minute, just waiting for something to change.
I know. His wife is there, Rebecca Vardy, as he heads onto the pitch, potentially for the last time in a Leicester shirt. Fingers crossed. Leicester do go down. Go on.
Do you say Vardy's last time? Possibly.
Potentially.
He'll stay next year. If they go down, he'll be their starting striker.
Yeah, well, he could easily score goals in the Championship. Vardy can.
He'll easily get 20.
Yeah.
Even at the ripe age of 36 or whatever he is. Jamie Vardy. I remember when he played that one tournament for England, he was like, yeah, I retire now.
Yeah, unbelievable. I was like, what? I was like, hang on a minute.
When he brought out the mannequin celebration.
It destroyed the pride flag at Sheffield as well. He's had so many iconic moments, Vardy has.
Premier League legend. I love his pre-matching as well.
Oh, on League of Their Own, he spoke about it, didn't he?
When he's in the tunnel, he drinks a whole thing of Red Bull when he gets him ready for the game.
I like it because he explains it on League of Their Own. He explains it on that, and like Jimmy Carr's just like, just do drugs. Like, we're not condoning that, by the way, on stream. We're not condoning that. I'm just saying that's what Jimmy Carr said. We are quoting Jimmy Carr, which is probably West Ham have scored.
Have they? Wow. Arsenal make it 5. 5-0 against Wolves. And Jakub Kiwior gets his first goal for Arsenal. Pressure on Leicester. Everton still holding out. Kiwior scored and he's just been taken off. Kieran.
There's 4 nows. There's 4 nows with the goal. given away cheaply in the midfield by Leicester, and it was a good. It was a finish low, and it hit the post. Hit the post and in, and still nothing happening at Goodison. And if West Ham score another one, it won't even matter. The fact that Leicester's winning is making this even more tense. The fact that Leicester are winning.
Another manager has been booked. Gary O'Neill has been booked today.
Oh my God. There's no reason for him to go, Larry. Yeah, well, he's still saying that Leicester were 1-0 up. I hadn't even changed that. How this is. We've got to employ somebody next season to do this that has no interest in football or has like an interest to just like change his voice and like, yeah, I'll change it. Has something just happened at Bournemouth?
Um,
Well, everybody's smiling and cheering in the King Power stands, almost like something's happened. I've not got anything yet.
I haven't got anything yet.
Something's definitely happened. Why they look? Well, they might just be happy that cheering them on, but okay. Nothing's happened, but I was a little bit like, "What the hell's going on?" They were just panning to the crowd.
It's got me updating my thing now. I'm trying to find something.
No, I think we're okay. I think we're all right. I've not heard anything either. So yeah, everything should be fine. Everything should be fine. We're not missing anything, but it's just that they were all like, I understand if they're going to back the team. I get that, but
yeah,
it just seemed a bit odd.
No, nothing's happened at Bournemouth.
Glimmer of hope. Okay. We've finally got something. Brentford are 1-0 up against Manchester City. 85 minutes played.
Ethan Pinnock.
At the G-Tech Community Stadium, as Elliot just mentioned, Jonathan Pinnock with the goal. And the champions are losing on the final day. It doesn't really matter.
Sorry, who?
Pinnock.
Yeah, what did you say his first name was?
Jordan.
No, you said Jonathan the first time.
Did I? Ethan, there we go.
Both are wrong.
Mate, Brentford are great. Brentford are great, but they're not my priority at the moment. Please, just give me a little bit of slack. It's the last game of the season. My heart is hurting at the moment. My God. Cornet with the acrobatic attempt, and that's gone out the stadium. So any lucky fan that potentially might be walking past, you might get a free ball after that. My God. But yes, the very, very talented Ethan Pinnock has scored. Brian Buembo with the assist. So that's helped my fantasy football.
My mate is updating me on the Leicester game. No, the Everton game. And about 10 minutes ago, he sent me a message. Yerry Mina just bit Solanke and didn't get booked.
Oh, great.
Man, he bit his chest.
Oh, nice.
They sent me a message, come on, Bournemouth.
Please. That might be the difference. That might be the difference maker. Everson collects from the air and collapses, potentially wasting time.
Yeah, that's all they can do, isn't it, Leicester at the minute? Just hope that Everton fumble it. You've got to say fair play to Leicester, though. They've come out today and, as it stands, they've done all they can.
They needed to win. The pressure was on them. I thought the pressure was on Everton. Everton have rose to the occasion from what it looks like. But, like as we said, Everton needed to win.
Last 5 minutes?
Sorry, Leicester needed to win. And they are winning, so fair enough to them. But Everton are holding on at the moment. So, yeah, it's important that Leicester have got the win. And Lanzini on. Flynn Downs are off. West Ham hoping to finish their season with some sort of points in the bag.
I'm fairly sure Flynn Downs is the only player I've seen get sent off in person. There's a friendly against Cambridge, and he headbutted someone on the halfway line. So I'd let you know.
Yeah, I'll treasure that information because
I'll write it down for you if you want.
Yeah, I'm sure you will. Don't text me, please. Please don't text me that.
Save it to the feed so you can never get rid of it.
The former Leicester man, Damari Gray, is gone off injured. Sims has come on. Sims, of course, looking like the weekend. He looks like the weekend, don't he?
I see where you're coming from.
Thank you. Everybody else goes, no, he don't. I'm like, yeah, he does. Like, give me a bit of credit. That's a handball, isn't it? No? Oh, okay. Handball. I thought it was a handball shout. I think I was the only one that was shouting. I wasn't even shouting, was I? Oh, this is painful.
Oh, no.
By the way, can I just say we won't have any full match analysis. We'll do all of the full match analysis on next week's episode. We are going to go off the air as soon as the stream is finished, mainly because we've worked so hard today. We've done such a long stream, so we're gonna after all games are finished, we will sign off and conclude the stream and potentially calm down, I think is probably the best words to use.
We'll obviously update people and wrap up the scores and stuff before we sign out, but we'll leave our thoughts and stuff during the week.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, I'm going to go. I've just had a message, which is a very serious message. So I'm going to go. Elliot is going to take over. So I will go and I will see you guys on the next stream. So I will see you very soon. Over to the wonderful Elliot, who's going to conclude us for us.
As we head into the last few minutes it looks like not a lot is going to change. As it stands, Southampton, Leeds and Leicester not being able to beat the drop. Everton, they've been holding on for the past half an hour and they could just get it over the line. Now in injury time in all the games, and Leicester have done all they can. They've got the win they needed. But in the end, it's relied on on Everton. And Everton have ended up picking up the win. And yeah, they have denied Leicester safety, which obviously Kieran and Gary will they'll not be pleased with. And yeah, obviously, because Leicester's their second team, they wanted them to stay up and stuff. But yeah, I think you'll hear their reactions for next week's video, where we go through the results and so on. But yeah, by the looks of it, there might not be any changes. So, going through the scores of how it's going to end, you've got Arsenal beat Wolves 5-0 at home. Villa picked up a 2-1 win against Brighton. Brentford picked up a 1-0 win at home to City. Chelsea and Newcastle 1-1 draw. Palace and Forest 1-1. Everton just beating Bournemouth 1-0, which secures them safety. Spurs beating Leeds 3-1 at Ellen Road, which, as it stands, sends them down. Leicester beating West Ham 2-1, which unfortunately at the minute they just fall short. Man United beating Fulham 2-1, and that secures third. And Southampton, Liverpool end 4-4, which is a very good last game for Southampton in the Premier League this season. And hopefully we'll see him back up in the Premier League soon. But if I can get the Premier League table up, we'll have a quick look at how it's going to end before we end it. Right, so doesn't seem to be right. Don't worry about that. But yeah, by the looks of it, that is going to be the conclusion of the season, as games are coming to an end. Yeah. Obviously, during the week we'll have a video out talking about all the scores and talking about the season overall. So make sure you tune in and watch that, because hopefully we should have all three of us there, me, Kieran and Gary, if all goes to plan. And yeah, games are closing in. And it is confirmed near enough. Spurs just scored a fourth. 4-1 away to Leeds. Lucas Moura inflicts even more damage on the home side. Sam Allardyce could not save them. So it will be Leeds joining Southampton. And 94th minute, Pickford has made a crucial save to deny Kiefer Moore's header. If that went in, Leicester could have stayed up. But yeah, Pickford seems to be the hero for Everton in the 94th minute. And we're just waiting for the games to end, which will be anytime soon. You would like to think. Just the Everton and Leicester game going on at the minute. By the looks of it, Everton have just about done enough. The Leicester game has now finished 2-1. So they've done their bit. They've done all they can do. It's down to Everton in these last few seconds of the game that they don't concede. Because if Bournemouth score, then that means Everton go down and Leicester just about stay up. But the game is finished at Ellen Road. Ended 4-1 to Spurs. And Everton have they're looking like they've done enough. Obviously still playing. The only game still active. But yeah. By the looks of it, Everton have stayed up on the last day of the season and have sent Leicester down, which is huge. Considering, 7 years ago? Something like that. They won the Prem. And now they're possibly dropping down to the Championship, which is huge. Going to lose some big players in the likes of Maddison and Barnes, and I think me and Kieran have spoken about this on a previous video. If you wanted to check that out on who we think is gonna leave and stay and stuff like that. But yeah, this Everton game is still going on in the 99th minute. Is that it done? No, not quite. somehow still going in the 10th added minute. But yeah. All Everton got to do is hold on for a few more moments. Then that is safety secured. That's it. Everton have just beat Bournemouth 1-0, which means, unfortunately, the teams that go down are Southampton, Leicester and Leeds. Big losses to the Prem. But that's where we're going to end the stream. There will be another live stream going on midweek where it should be me, Gary and Kieran all there, and we'll wrap up the Prem and talk about awards and results and the table and stuff. So make sure you tune into that. And yeah, hope you enjoyed the stream, and we'll see you midweek. Don't forget to like, and comment and subscribe. And yeah, go check out any other videos that we've posted. All right, I will see you in a bit.